Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and going over the newest PV for Puppet here, and this is going to be the one that has all of her movesets and things of its nature here. And man, I won't lie, I did spoil myself just a little bit just to see a little bit of her translations, and she sounds a little bit insane. So we're going to be taking a look at this here and actually seeing the animations for real, for at least for now at least. And a lot of people are kind of hyping her up. I'm interested to see if she's really going to be worth it. Though for free to play wise, what I ended up reading, I don't think she's going to be too worth it free to play wise, but we'll just have to see. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and just zoom on in, and I should be able to make it so you guys can actually hear it perfect. Let's go ahead and do this that way. And there you go. I love the art, so I'm guessing, okay, yeah, this is just like the little extra story part here. I wonder, is this like a new confidant thing? I highly doubt it, because we didn't get like a new, well, no, we did get Marion, but we already had a puppet, so I highly doubt it's going to be another confidant type goal. It's probably just something with the like beach event, probably. Curious how this is all gonna like kind of tie back into things too, or the event itself, to be honest. Our man Wonder looks so perplexed, bro. Look at him. As much as I want to say this isn't like a new confidant thing, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Glimpses of the AOA for a quick second. Alright, so we get to see the model, of course. This was something that we already got to see a little bit of. The freaking surfboard looks cool as crap as usual. Let's see what exactly the moves look like. That's more or less what I'm interested in. So we of course got to see a little bit of how she does work. She's a follow-up character after all, but we have the skill 1. Okay, nothing too crazy here. Got the skill 2, of course. Let's see how this looks as well. Oh, little attack. Okay, and then the skill 3, which seems to be a buff sorts. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, so she gets a buff. It seems like she buffs herself, and then that's where she starts to use her little follow-up attack. So pretty interesting. Then we have the actual highlight itself here, and I do have translations for this stuff here, so we're gonna actually go ahead and look at that as well. But I don't think it's up on the P5X little website itself, or like P5X news and info Twitter just yet. But I really do love that freaking surfboard, man. Surfboard looks insane. I'm gonna check out her passives and things very soon, so just stick with me, you guys. We got, of course, the awarenesses for the A1, A0 and A1. Oh, okay, hold on. I wonder if the, okay, listen, the A6 looks like a huge paragraph. It's probably good. All right, let's go ahead and check that out later. But the AOA, how does it look? Okay, I love that. All right, the AOA, I love it. It's just beautiful. All right, so we ended up going through everything here. I don't know if it is posted on Twitter just yet. So first of all, go ahead and do this, and then we're gonna go ahead and do not the jocks area, because I need to see exactly what, but doesn't seem like they have anything posted just yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and check our DMs real quick, because I did see someone in the worldwide Discord translate it as well, in which I want to give them credit where it's due here. And this one, let me see. You see what we got here. Their name is Peppuccino, and I hope I said it right now, or at least right now. And they ended up actually translating everything. So this goes for like the weapon, this goes for everything of that nature here. So let's go ahead and pull it on up. You guys should be able to see it on my screen in a few seconds. Actually, I'll just make it so it looks like this here. And okay, so we already have what it looks like to be the actual translation. So for the skill 1 itself, which is what we ended up seeing, it is an AoE, of course, move, and this inflicts a certain percentage of attack percent of ice damage against all enemies. Now with this certain percentage of inflicting a freeze, so it can inflict a freeze as well, which is really interesting, but this will end up lasting for 2 whole turns, which is pretty dang cool to see that as well. So I'm interested to see how that's all going to be going together itself. I'm really interested to see how that's going to be here. The other thing that I wanted to know immediately was this is going to last for 2 whole turns. Now Miyu herself is going to recover a certain amount of SP, which is very interesting as well, and the SP recovered through this actual effect can then exceed a certain cap. The maximum of the XP will be recovered. Exceeding this cap is pretty much going to give us different effects by the seams of it, or by the looks of it here. So let's say the SP cap is 200, then SP recovery over the cap is 200. So okay, so I guess it's supposed to equalize the cap itself, so 200 something like that. Sounds kind of interesting. I think when they were talking about it too, we do have some of the effects themselves, which I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put back up arc quick so you guys can actually see this real fast. And this one, if I'm correct, for every certain amount of like SP itself, you're supposed to actually get you're supposed to get a certain boost. So if I'm right, it's like, yeah, here it is. If we have like 100 SP, we get increased attack. If we have 200 SP, we get increased damage. If we have 300 SP, we're able to get what is it called, a certain percentage of crit rate. And if we have 400 SP, we're able to get increase in crit damage, which is fairly interesting as well. I'm pretty excited to see exactly how that does go as well. So you guys should be able to see my Discord once again here. And for the skill 2, it says the active AoE, it inflicts a certain percentage of attack or ice damage against all enemies. When in the C domain, every stack of 1,000 stacking waves, it will then increase the damage of this skill. After releasing the skill, SMU exits our C domain. So okay, after we use this skill, apparently the C domain that we then were in, we're actually out of it now. It will consume all the 1,000 stacking waves, and this skill is treated as a follow-up. So I'm guessing that's that little wave that we ended up seeing as well. That's going to be our follow-up attack, and so we can trigger this with the S2 as well. Now the S3 is called it's like a little bit of a buff. We get on our surfboard, it cleanses all our mental elements, and unleashes C domain. So this is once again the C domain aspect here. I'm thinking we have to use skill 3 first, and then skill 2 or skill 1 wherever we need like stacks and things like that will depend on what we use next. But we unleash our domain, we're now immune to down, mental elements, and CC effects. But we cannot basic attack, we can't gun attack, we can't use any consumable. So once we're in this state, we're mainly going to be what's it called, just stuck here. We're able to receive statuses, not really meant, he said he's not sure what he means there, but it extends the duration by 1 turn. So whenever we receive statuses is what I'm thinking, like maybe buffs or maybe debuffs or anything like that, it extends our turn duration, which is cool. When an ally's turn ends, this is going to be, when an ally's turn ends during the C domain, if SP amount is sufficient, it automatically consumes that SP to unleash I'm just going to use it as a enhanced move here called Surging Tides Pouring Clouds. So I'm guessing that's another little follow-up thing that we end up getting here, in which it does explain exactly what it does. It consumes this, inflicting an attack percentage of ice damage against all enemies, and then you get 1 stack back, which is kind of interesting. But for every stack of these said waves here, it increases the damage and SP consumption of this, in which this can be stacked. It is treated as a follow-up. So yeah, okay, this is why I thought it was a follow-up. It's probably that wave that we kept seeing coming in, which is pretty dang interesting here. But it says using S3 again while SMU exits the C domain, and it will erase all of the said stacks. Now she's able to use any skill besides the S3 in this turn. However, she cannot release the C domain again, just one turn. Okay, all right, so interesting. Now the highlight, which we saw very briefly, it inflicts a certain amount of ice damage against all the enemies, and if we're in C domain, which is a huge thing inside of this, it will inflict another instance of ice damage. So I guess that highlight acts as if it's going to go twice as well, which is pretty darn interesting to say the least. Now I'm kind of interested in how this character is really going to be coming about here, because I do feel like with a character like this, it's going to be fairly interesting to see, like, what is it called, how the highlights are really going to play a huge part here. It says it kind of goes double or some sort, so I'm wondering if that goes for the follow-ups themselves as well, because the follow-ups are going to have an interesting play into this character a lot by the seams of it. But we're just gonna have to go from there. Now the weapon, which we're gonna go over the weapon first before we go over any like awarenesses here. The weapon is a little bit longer here. As you guys can see, it's a little bit longer of a play around here. But apparently the weapon, it increases the crit damage and increases your crit rate of follow-up attacks here, which I would say this is really good if you're really trying to invest into the character, but it may not be a necessary weapon itself. But whenever you use skills that consume SP, it increases your damage and stacks up to 5 times, and this can last permanently throughout the battle. So of course, more SP you consume, the more damage percentage you get, and this is going to be the entire battle. Pretty interesting. Now A1, this is where we get into the awarenesses here. The first one immediately for Surging Tides Pouring Clouds, which was the third skill's follow-up if I'm correct here. This one decreases a certain percentage for SP consumption, and then the maximum stacks of 1,000 stacking waves is increased by a certain amount, which is pretty interesting. Whenever we do unleash our C domain, it now is extended or extending all statuses by SMU by 1 full turn. So the statuses that she applied on herself, which we saw was like damage bonus, in which I think I can actually showcase that on the screen for a second here. But we saw her do a couple statuses, which was back here, I would like to say. Oh, I did not mean to have the audio on there. It's probably going to overlap. My bad, guys. But this would be right here, right? So we see her pop a couple statuses here. One of them really quick seems to be damage bonus, and I think they're both damage bonus actually. So kind of interesting to see exactly how that's going to work here. I'm wondering exactly what they're going to do with that. And then that's going to be extended by a whole turn instead of being at least the previous turn. A2 itself, whenever we're inside of C domain, we get actually our crit damage increased even more. And then for every amount of Surging Tides Parting Clouds used, we're able to unleash 1 special Surging Tides Parting Clouds, and this one does not consume any SP. So of course, it does not increase your 1,000 stacking wave stacks, and it doesn't increase or it doesn't consume your SP, which is kind of a win when you get a free attack out of it. You just don't get a free stack. Perfectly fine. Pretty much look forward to it. Highlight now increases follow-up damage by a certain amount for a certain turn, which is the A4, pretty decent. But the A6 is what I've been hearing a lot of talk about here. So SMU's maximum SP is additionally increased, which is really good because that means you can get the max of her SP gauge that I was talking about earlier. And then whenever the battle does start, she automatically recovers SP to the maximum amount and enters C domain. So instantaneously, instead of us having to immediately pick a skill or anything to actually proc this, she pretty much automatically starts in that skill 3 mode, which is really nice. Now this does increase 1,000 stacking waves maximum stacks as well, so that's kind of interesting. The SP recovery of S2 is now greatly increased, and then for S3, reactivation effect is no longer it no longer makes her exit the actual C domain, which is really good because if we use like skill 3 for example and then try to use it again, it would make us actually exit it. Now it no longer does that, so that's actually really cool. We're actually able to stay in it, and then if we're able to clearing 1,000 stacking waves, which are the stacks that we've been had here, this is now going to be moved at the end of the turn. So we no longer clear it whenever we use a certain move or anything like that. It's now going to be at the end of her turn fully. So if we're able to go multiple times, that could be really good as well. Now, after clearing these said stacks, she then receives all her SP back, which is really, really cool, because normally she would lose that SP. That SP is now coming back to her, which is really nice, because then you're able to get those nice old buffs that she's actually trying to keep a hold of. Really do like that. That seems really cool. I feel like it could be really busted, to be honest. I need to get a little bit more information on that A6, because it sounds like it could be really broken, but I'm unsure about how much. Now let's go ahead and check Najox's page, because I'm really interested to see how he feels on it. He says Summer Puppet looks pretty cool and that he's pulling. I'm wondering like how exactly this character is really going to work out as well. The last thing I wanted to go over was the A0, which I did do some of the A0 itself here. So I did say some of the A0. So I'm kind of interested to see what all is inclined to that. Let's see what we got here. I know there's still one that was talked about that I mentioned briefly, which was like the percentages and stuff. You guys should be able, well, I'll just leave it. I don't think anyone's saying anything crazy right now inside of the actual chat. So if we go ahead, and you guys should be able to see, okay, never mind, I guess you're not going to be able to see it. I thought my screen would pop up, but I guess it's not going to pop up. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and do this here. I think that's going to be easier. If we can go ahead and look at this immediately right here, we can immediately see that the core awareness 0 is what I really want to talk about. Now, what this does say here is what I already said for the bonuses, but you're able to ride on the, of course, surfboard, consuming SP, unleash an endless wave attacks against the enemy. Now, her SP cap is increasing. The initial SP amount during the start of the battle is set at 0. Whenever the ally other than Miu's turn begins, she will then recover a certain amount, which is what makes this a huge deal. She automatically gets that SP back, which is awesome, meaning you can get the maximum amount of buffs. As for her passive, she increases her attack based on the SP, which there is a cap. And then for the passive 2 in C domain, our damage is increased. So pretty interesting. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't sound like anything too insane, but still sounds pretty darn decent. I'm interested to see how this character does work. Let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about her. And I guess till next time, everybody, thank you for watching and peace out.